Welcome once again to the Weekend Word. I'm your host, Brother Mark. This podcast is designed as a short-form study to start your weekends with Yah. This podcast is meant as a quick starting point, not an in-depth study. That I will leave to you. So with that being said, let's jump right into our weekend word for this week. Study and meditation. Study and meditation are two different things which should work together. One of the big things we notice today is the disconnect between these two very important activities that we as believers are encouraged to do. There is a big difference between the two, and many people will think they are doing both when in fact they are only doing one. Why is this important? First, we will establish each word, then establish a good working knowledge of how these two things can work separately and together to grow our faith and confidence in our Creator. Let's start with study. As seen on the screen, the word study, both in Hebrew and Greek, we find agreement. From the Hebrew word lahag, from Concordance H3854. Study, from the Greek spoudazo, from the Greek Concordance G4710. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, KJV with Hebrew meaning. Study to show thyself approved unto Yah, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Many believers have missed the importance of study because they have not known the difference between study and meditation. With each of these actions, there are different outcomes and blessings. These both should work well together when one knows the difference and how to use them individually and together. Today, we will focus on study. We believe it is the least understood by believers and has been mixed up with meditation. So what is it to do when we study Yah's Word? Study is an in-depth, intense pursuit of knowledge and understanding. In order to fully begin to grasp the Scriptures, we must take into account many different aspects such as history, culture, and the context in which they are written. The origins of Scripture are in the Hebrew and the Hebrew language and culture. The other cultures are mixed and varied, and so we must use all our resources to dig out the many hidden gems and meanings in order to gain what it is we seek. You will not gain spiritual insight without the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of God, and much effort. You must also use all of Scripture to verify your conclusions and insights, both the Old and Renewed Covenant writings together. Acts chapter 17, verses 10 through 12, King James Version with Hebrew meaning. And the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Judean. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the Scriptures daily, whether those things were so. Therefore many of them believed, also of honorable women, which were Greeks and of men, not a few. Study is seldom with instantaneous results, as we see with the scripture that we just presented. It is a daily pursuit. If you relate your earthly pursuits, whether it is schooling, work, craftsmanship, or relationships, etc., much daily effort is put into these things over a lifetime. Why should it be any different when we study the scriptures? When we recognize that we are building up eternal benefit from studying Yah's Word, it should be all the more worth all the in-depth effort we can give it. Look for our weekend word next week, where we cover meditation. Well, this is the end of the weekend word for this week. We look forward to seeing you again next week. I'm Brother Mark. Shabbat Shalom.
When watching or listening to our content, please be advised. For here and for all further scriptural references, unless specifically noted, we use the King James KJV or the International Standard Version ISV for our scriptural quotes. Please also note we use the Strong's Hebrew and Greek Concordance for added understanding. Where possible, we also use the actual Hebrew names and Hebrew meanings as well. This is designated by HBM. Also, we must note that the Hebrew language is read from right to left. For here and for all further scriptural references, when these two words are used, Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, and Jesus, please be advised of the following. We interchange them out of respect to our Yah. Wherever Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, is used, the actual Hebrew equals Yod, He, Vav, He. We pronounce that as Yahuwah, and it comes from the Concordance H3068. Whenever Jesus is used, the actual Hebrew equals Yod, He, Wah, Shin, Ayin, Yeshua, from the Hebrew Concordance 3091. We also would like to point out when we use the term God, we are referring to the one true Elohim, the I Am of the Scriptures, not just any old God. Yah is his name. Our references: Telahim, Psalm chapter 68 verse 4, the ISV with Hebrew meaning. Sing to Elohim, sing praises to his name, raise up a highway for him who rides through the deserts, by his name Yah, and exalt before him. We have a further in-depth study on his names on our website at www.mkistudios.net. Thank you.